What's going on? How are you guys today? We're gonna do an Ask Me Anything for maybe like an hour and a half. What it was today is Sunday, right? I was actually thinking of doing a vegan dietary critique today, and I kind of wish I did, but we'll do that. Like I think we'll just do that next weekend. I'll promote it more for you guys because I got to get the green screen and everything set up on the so we can watch the videos a little bit easier. And we know how the vegans are lacking the brain capacity to put out consistent content. So we usually have to wait about a month between doing those anyway. But how are you guys today? I haven't really done anything today, because I didn't want to eat like 3 pounds of food before the live stream to work out. So after the live stream, I'm gonna eat something. I'll work out, and then I'll film my video. I pretty much just spent an hour and a half, 2 hours writing the script for my my video tomorrow. Why are there so many dislikes? I'm constantly being brigaded by shills, mainly because you have to understand if I'm the only person that hasn't really sold out on YouTube, then of course all the other people are gonna. Here's the thing: when you speak up about things, other people want to shut you up, not only because you're speaking up about certain things. The main reason is actually because they don't want to start getting questions about why they're not speaking about it. So if you start talking about how, I mean, for instance, like if I start saying that, well, this is an example. So I started talking about how the carnivore diet is deficient in copper, and copper deficiency is going to lead to iron overload. And the carnivores basically tried to discredit me and say iron overload isn't an issue. Not because I'm not incorrect. I'm completely right, and it's probably the biggest. It's a big concern about standard American diets and dieting in general is not getting enough copper in your diet. But the reason they have to discredit me is because if they give any warrant to what I'm saying and that it's true, it compromises their agenda. As soon as they don't, the less information that's put forward to the public, the better. The less questions that are asked, the better. If I start talking about how these new Wi-Fi towers, no one else has mentioned the new Wi-Fi towers, the new infrastructure, the new weaponry that's been set up. No one talks about it. And then when I talk about it and other people get questioned about it, they have to label me as crazy because they can't acknowledge it. So these people they don't spend any time trying to address or discredit the information. If you watch any vegan channels, any carnivore channels, any of this, any of that, any other influencers, they don't address the information. They address the person and they try to discredit them. No beach today. It was supposed to be sunny in the weather forecast, but it's not. In terms of survival, do you think it's better to store tinned salmon, sardines, and canned beef? Or do you think condensed milk, honey, and chocolate like in your pantry video? I mean, I think you'd want a balance of certain foods. I'm gaining weight to prep for the end days of Western civilization. Yeah, I actually can't gain weight because of the iron overload problems. I couldn't gain weight if I wanted to. Hi, y'all from Texas. Hey, what's going on, guys? How are you guys today? There's a cell tower in the forest near me. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I mean, I'm supposed to go to see another farm this weekend, but I'm a little worried there's going to be a cell tower nearby, and I'm honestly worried that anywhere I go, there's going to be a bunch of cell towers. Frank is a lukewarm truther. I knew about this shit in high school like 10 years ago. Oh, yeah, well, then why is no one else talking about it? Like, you guys are stupid. Do you think a diet consistent of mix of high quality carbs, protein, and fats would be good for bodybuilding? Usually when you combine, the problem is when some people combine fats and carbs in large amounts, it does cause dysbiosis gut issues. Bodybuilding in general is very stressful on the digestive system. How can a burger be healthy if you're eating it with a burger bun? Well, you have to understand the components of food and what the positives and the negatives are. If there isn't a cell tower near a farm, there will be one soon. Yeah, it's hard to, it's hard to say what the solution is. How does the iron overload prevent weight gain? Because when your liver functions impaired and your digestive functions impaired, your body doesn't produce enough enzymes to digest the food. And when you eat too much, you usually get dysbiosis or bacterial overgrowth and you don't absorb the nutrition. What do you think about vegetable juices like Adonis recommends? Would it help with iron overload, for example? I mean, to me, vegetable juices, like, I don't know why these rawtards rag on vegans when they would drink vegetable juices when, vegetable juices might be one of the worst components of a vegan diet because they're very high in agrochemicals and pesticides and herbicides. If you look at 5G LTE coverage and move to a dead zone, yeah, but how are you going to know there's there has to be a farm that lines up in the dead zone? What proof do you have of the 5 grams weaponry? Yeah, there's about 15 videos on my channel, buddy, you can watch. 15 videos worth of proof. It's amazing. I've been told that more people had Adonis bodies back in the 80s and they worked out less. Working out is definitely a meme. The Wi-Fi and radiation levels in the environment are the main thing causing health distress. The diet is secondary. If I had to say from like a percentage perspective, I would say 60 to 70% is Wi-Fi damage and 30 to 40% is dietary damage. Both are huge components of why people are unhealthy. Both are incredibly important components of why people aren't healthy. But the point is both of them. Organic or even homegrown vegetable juices, any benefit? Well, I mean, okay, what's in the vegetable juice that you need? What's in the food isn't magic. Food has components in it. Every food has vitamins, minerals, molecules, different components in it. It's literally ridiculous how people are literally dropping dead in China from Wi-Fi weaponry and people are still denying it. Just the fact that if you understand what a phase array antenna is that the correct terminology for it? I think it's phase array antenna is a phase array antenna is what the 5 grams towers are. It's panels. It's those panels of antennas. And when you have phase array antennas, you can change the direction of the antennas. So my question to you, people that are saying there's nothing wrong with 5 grams, why can they change the direction of cell towers? Why can they change the direction? Why are they using phase array antennas to change the direction? If they were actually setting up a cell tower, shouldn't they be setting up a cell tower for general coverage in an area? Why would they need to specifically point? There's too many logical arguments against it. It's completely ridiculous. White potatoes versus white rice. I mean, potatoes are definitely a better choice. How come the smartest guy on nutrition eats ketchup sauce and grapes? What are you talking about? Ketchup sauce and grapes? Did I do a recipe video with what? I think I did a recipe with ketchup recently. What was it? Did I put ketchup on the burger? What I feed my family has nothing to do with my diet. Food quality seems to help, but in New York City, a lot of old-looking people in their 40s. No, it's very high-level Wi-Fi stress. Your thoughts on Dr. Disrespect getting permanently banned from Twitch after mentioning David? Well, they're controlled opposition chills. I think the Dr. Disrespect stuff might have been a PR stunt. You literally show studies in your videos and people still don't believe it. No, I mean it's concrete proof. As long as radiation isn't visible and Toyota is the big media hype, the scapegoat works. Yeah. Well, I mean, one thing people keep missing that has to be relayed back to is that, you know, the current Wi-Fi is an issue. It's not just about the new 5 grams infrastructure. The current Wi-Fi system we have set up is already a huge issue. Having gut issues 2 years. Carney, so ran a GI map, came back high E. coli, sugar toxin, H. pylori bacilli. Yeah, I've corrected that, and probably actually the majority of my clients with gut issues, that's what their gut profile comes back as. It's pretty easy to fix. Except if you listen to these carnivore morons, your health is just going to get worse and worse. H. pylori is a really interesting bacteria, and I wanted to do a video on H. pylori, but I felt like I would give away information that no one else has ever talked about for free, so I decided not to do it. So when people consult me and they have H. pylori, I just tell them what to do to get rid of it. How do you explain why the Chinese aren't fat? There's a specific mechanism. They genetically, the Chinese aren't able to store a certain amount of visceral fat. So what happens is they just get fatty liver and pancreatic problems really, really quickly and get diabetes really, really quickly, even though they don't get really, really fat. Native, like indigenous Alaskans, are the opposite. They'll get super fat and blow up really quickly, even with just a bowl of rice every day. How about being lied to in every war, people dying at the hands of the state? I did a video on Memorial Day that was, all my videos have been heavily censored lately, and I'm getting more and more discouraged, but the video I did on Memorial Day talks about like the glory and stuff. One thing also, one big thing that keeps coming to mind is that the use of steroids and testosterone in soldiers and military, and how they're basically weakening the population with estrogen and chemicals, but they're giving the soldiers like steroids and testosterone and stuff to give them energy and be aggressive and strong. Video on rape culture propaganda fueling the depopulation agenda. Go ahead. Well, I don't know much about that, and I have a hard time covering topics I don't know a lot about. I don't really care. I mean, the whole, to me, the whole like MGTOW thing and rape culture and that type of stuff is people who value sex too much but aren't getting it. I feel like those are the people that talk about it and argue about it. I think you're right that everyone is a shill. I watched a video from, and he was speaking against masks, social distancing being nonsense, and then he said meat causes cancer. No, it's this is what these people do. And I think I said this in my video today. They'll try to relate to you. They'll relate to you. They'll say everything you want to hear. Oh yeah, it's fake, it's nonsense, don't wear a mask, don't do this. Here's the Bible. I found Jesus. That's exactly what they do. They relate to you, they try to get you comfortable, all that type of stuff. And then they bring in their agenda. Why do athletes look so good? Steroids. Well, I was watching a Philly. I like Philion's videos. I was watching. He's a funny guy. Kind of weird though. I think he wants to be a girl. But anyway, he made a video on. I need to make a video on it. But he said in his video, all athletes are using performance enhancing drugs. And I've said that in my videos. I wonder if he was watching. I wonder if he watches my videos and said that because of me. But maybe not. That's an opinion that a lot of people might have. But I don't remember which video I said it a few months ago. But I've said before, all athletes at the highest level are using performance enhancing drugs. Probably in one of my vegan athlete critique videos. And then like like other people were saying, oh, that's not true. But even though all of these athletes are using copious amounts of steroids, not all of them actually look good. I think if an athlete looks good, he would probably looks pretty good without the steroids. Because a lot of the I was actually I don't know how I came across like a Wilt Chamberlain video the other day, and everyone, oh no, no, this is what I was watching. I found Big Lenny's. I was watching Big Lenny at the Ruby Classic with the Tom Platz of abs. I was hysterical laughing, and Lenny said something like Wilt Chamberlain benched 600 pounds. So I was like, okay, that can't be right. So I looked it up, and Wilt Chamberlain actually benched 500 pounds. So one thing to keep in mind is that a lot of the strength in these athletes is not muscular. It's tendons, it's ligaments, it's bones, it's size. A person, look, I have a very small bone frame. I'm like 5'7", 150 pounds, and I'm a lot stronger than the average person. But even just someone that's has a really big bone frame, if someone was like 5'8", but like naturally 200 pounds, their bone structure, their tendons, their ligaments, they would be substantially stronger than me. So your natural strength and athletic ability is determined by your development, your bone structure, your ligaments, your tendons. I mean, could I take steroids? Could I have taken steroids and been a professional athlete? I think my genetics were good enough, yeah. But by no means would I. It'd have to be the right sport and this and that. You do have shorter people that are very good genetic athletes. But the main consistent factor is that generally, I mean, if you look at the MLB, the NFL, any professional sport, the majority of the athletes are taller and better physically developed. I used to carry a lot of fat on my stomach and switch to carnivore and gain weight on my thighs and hips. Well, if you were eating estrogenic feedlot beef, that would be why. To what extent percentage do you think body composition is genetic versus diet related? It's going to be determined by your hormonal profile and environment greatly. There's too much stuff to talk about in that aspect. It's a long discussion. Hey, Blueberry, thanks for the support, man. How are you today? On your Amazon page, the magnesium and copper supplement was out of stock. Do you have any others that I could buy? You could just buy the same thing. Magnesium glycinate, copper glycinate. The amount of Verizon and Optimum trucks I see on a daily basis is absurd. Yeah, I honestly, I'd like to see what they're working on. Like, it's not like I'm just going to drive around all day and try to figure out what they're working on. But I've seen the trucks driving around. I haven't actually seen where they're... I mean, I've seen where they're stopped working sometimes, but very rarely. You don't have any body hair? Is that an indicative of low testosterone? Yeah, it usually is. For an Italian person like me to have no body hair, yeah, low testosterone. And it's not even low testosterone. I can do things to naturally make my testosterone very high, but the DHT and the conversion and stuff that has to do with body hair. Like when I eat certain foods that I know boost my testosterone like hundreds of points, I still don't get any extra body hair. There's some other factors there that determine body hair. All of the vegans use steroids because they have no problem using steroids because steroids are made from plants. Where do you buy veal? We get it on Frankie's Free Range Meat from Holland. Ideal time to try for baby? After you and your significant other have been following a nutritious diet for, I would say, ideally 2 years, then you would want to get pregnant in the late summer, early fall, and have the baby in the spring, summer, and then get a lot of vitamin D. Just think of when animals give birth naturally. Animals get pregnant in the fall. Yeah, I have to shave I shave like once or twice a week. I get some, just like a little bit of facial hair. How much do you know on vitamin A and how to detox it to a more normal level? I've done a few vitamin A consultations. I don't talk about that on. I don't give away information like that for free. Maybe at some point in the future I'll talk about vitamin A toxicity, but it's not going to be anytime soon. Mainly because I feel like I know more about it than everyone else combined, and people just steal my information. So, not talking about it. Are eggs coming soon? No, I mean not for at least a few months. Building a Faraday room. Steroids bad for health. I mean, I don't. I'm kind of anti using synthetic substances because there's just so many compounds that are produced by the body that it's difficult to justify putting anything exogenous in. If you have iron or vitamin A toxicity, a private oh yeah, hey Tyler, how are you? What's going on, man? I saw that Mr. Venus will be on Corn Faker's channel for an interview this week. That's fucking hysterical, man. They don't even give a shit anymore. They don't even give a shit. They're all just a bunch of Mason fucking faggots. You know, I took a screenshot earlier. It's so stupid. I'm doing a video on the state of the economy tomorrow, and 13.3% unemployment. They're literally symbolizing 33 in the just so they don't change the unemployment. They said they're not changing the unemployment percentage, even though the unemployment percentage is actually like probably 30 or 40%, but it's all 13.3%. And I don't like talking about this on my main channel, and I don't want to put this in the video, but 33 just stands for 33 degrees of Freemasonry. Basically, I mean, Freemasons are basically the group of sellout shills. And the carnivores are Masons. Thoughts on Starlink? Will it be worse than 5 grams? I don't really know what. Listen, I don't know if. I honestly, I don't genuinely think these fucking morons have the capabilities to put something up in space. Maybe I'm wrong. If there is space, I mean, if they faked the moon landing, then I don't know if. I don't even know what they have the technological capabilities of doing. Can you do what your dad eats in a day as a joke? I probably should. Is MGTOW an elite Mason lie? I think either way you look at MGTOW, it's not conducive to. I think the reason they're against it is it's not conducive to society. They don't want people. They don't want people MGTOW. I mean, that's just part. Everyone's in the club. Everyone is in the club to some degree, and that's why they participate with each other. John Venus, Corn Faker, all of these shills are in the club. That's why they collaborate with each other, and that's why I don't collaborate with everyone else. And that's why my channel gets censored. It's why these idiots turn their camera on and blabber about nothing for 15 minutes and get 50,000 views. And it's why I get censored when I have 5,000 views. MGTOW is another divide and conquer strategy. Yeah, I mean, it could just the MGTOW in general overview is kind of like a man versus woman thing. It's just feeding into that man versus woman animosity, pit males against females, and that's what they do. Don't they want 500k people on the planet? You mean 500 million? Another thing you should keep in mind is taking steroids lowers men's sperm count. In fact, it's almost like male birth control in many cases. Frank, your subs aren't growing so much because YouTube disabled the algorithm. I think they just shut down my channel. I'm not growing at all. I don't really know what to do at this point. I was hoping to be in a better position with my businesses right now, but it's difficult. It's difficult when every single thing you do is to try to benefit other people, and all you have is a bunch of evil assholes that are going against you and trying to discredit you and censoring you, all because they want to make money for themselves and keep people sick and unhealthy. It's actually insane. If you think about what the carnivores and the vegans are doing compared to me, it's sad and pathetic. They just sit in their homes and push propaganda that's given to them by the mainstream. You still get to enjoy yourself every now and then these days. Yeah, maybe like once a week I'll try to get some type of STD from a Puerto Rican girl, but that's about it. That's about it. That's all the fun I have. Why do you guys ask questions like this? What if Joey Carbstrong was harassing you in a meat market? What would you do? It depends on the specific situation. If we were by ourselves, he would probably get an erection and try to kiss me. If it was at like a vegan event, I'd have probably like 3 gigantic dudes as my security that would crunch him into a basketball. Depends on the specific situation. Look up Twinkle Twinkle Patrick Star. It's kind of like the 5. Jose, just Jose Snapchat that to me. Snapchat that to me. Why do Puerto Ricans have STDs? Oh no, I didn't mean Puerto Rican specifically. That was just who I was with the other day. That was just an example. You look at the uptaking steroids, you will see uptick in female to male transsexual some number of years later after those people started to have babies because steroids get to this. What? You look at the uptaking steroids, you will see an uptick in female to male transsexual some numbers of years after those people started to get babies because of the steroids getting to the sperm. Oh, what do you mean that if a man takes steroids and has a child that's a female, they'll have an altered testosterone ratio? Is that what you're saying? I just look home on my YouTube usually. Was surprised when I visited your channel for fun some days ago and found like 5 new videos that were never recommended. You know, it's kind of crazy because I'm not even talking about stuff that's that controversial. What are the health benefits of donating blood? You should watch my videos. I did a pretty good video series on iron overload, like 2 or 3 videos in a row a couple months back that you need to watch. Hello, sir. Correcting hemorrhoids. I'm not really sure if I've had too many clients that have had hemorrhoids, digestive issues, but generally speaking, certain probiotic foods and altering the diet would probably fix it in a matter of weeks. Do women with deep voices have high testosterone? I mean, I would assume at some point in their life their testosterone was altered. If you give someone enough hormones, it will change what they're attracted to. How many do you think will still follow Q even if Trump doesn't arrest all these corrupted individuals as he's promised? Anyone following Q is fucking retarded. Like, the fact that these 5 grams towers are up and that he's supporting 5 grams and that if people are still riding the Trump train after he's supporting Operation Warp Speed to inject everyone, like, what the fuck? I feel like Q is a psyop just targeted at really, really low intelligent people. Did indigenous people clean their teeth? Is it even needed? No, it's not. Oh, you know what? That reminds me. I have to make my new tooth powder formula. Frankie's Naturals. I've been delaying a lot of stuff, but I'm open my to-do list. On Frankie's Naturals, I have to make a new batch of tooth powder. We're removing baking soda from the tooth powder. I'm debating on removing peppermint oil, but I think I have to keep the peppermint oil in there. Otherwise, it'll be just like clay flavored, which won't be good. And we're going to do a clay shampoo. It's basically going to be clay that you guys can mix into water and wash your hair with. How come you're the only carnivore on YouTube who still has hair? More people should say that in my chat. Well, technically speaking, the only other person that's been carnivore for only about a year that has hair has been copying me. And he's only been carnivore for a year. But he copies everything I do, so who knows? The only reason for birth control is because they just enjoy the cream pies. It's a massive risk, but you know it is. I don't really know if that's correct. I think it's... Q also recommends a lot of anti-Christian books, but followers just ignore that. I don't really know. Are you going to make a deodorant stick? No. I don't think you can make a stick deodorant with minimal ingredients. My deodorant is literally 3 ingredients, which is impossible to do with a stick. Well, I mean, technically I could probably put it into a stick and it would probably work, to be honest. It's just you would rub off too much when you used it. Frankie's Naturals mosquito repellent cream. Okay, there are...
I tried keto diet after diagnosis with IBS.
There are the concern I would have with a mosquito repellent is that if you're putting something on your skin, it's going to be absorbed transdermally. There's natural oils that will repel mosquitoes. I think peppermint oil is one, but you don't want to spray peppermint oil directly on your skin. So I think if you really had a mosquito problem, you'd want to wear a long sleeve shirt. I tried keto after diagnosed with IBS. Completely healed, had good bowel movements. After a month, the vegetables bloat me up. Carnivore, constipated for 2 months now. What should I do? I mean, Natural Breed, you can watch my videos, go through my channel, watch my videos, try to develop an understanding of what you have to do to follow a healthy carnivore diet. I have a book, The Ancestral Indigenous Diet, which is maybe a couple hours read on Amazon and my website. I have a carnivore video course that's about an hour long that'll give you a rundown of the carnivore diet very quickly. And if you want, you can reach out to me for a consultation to get a summary, quicker summary and answers. Will there be a peanut butter flavored Warrior Bar? No, we would never use peanut butter in the Warrior Bar. How's your relationship with DeLauer? I asked him if he wanted to collaborate in Cali. I was going to go out to Cali, but he didn't want to. You think they'll eventually shut down airlines? I mean, I think they're going to make things really crazy again later this year and try to shut everything down when everyone's locked inside for the winter. And How do you think medical cannabis affects metabolism, if at all? I did a whole video on marijuana. It messes with the endocannabinoid system, and it'll make you hungrier. It'll stress your omega-3 stores. I would be more worried about the Wi-Fi in the environment and the nutrients in your diet, as opposed to if you want to know more in depth about the downsides of marijuana usage, I would definitely watch that video I made. It's very long and in depth. I mean, all my videos get censored, so that's probably why you guys haven't seen them. Thoughts on polyunsaturated fatty acids and vitamin E? I mean, most people have too much omega-6 in their diet. Vitamin E, I think I covered it in my antioxidant video where I spoke about how the purpose of vitamin E is just to prevent the oxidation of fatty acids. So you would never want to consume exogenous vitamin E. The purpose of vitamin E is to keep the fats in the food preserved and not oxidized. If that's the primary purpose of vitamin E, then this is the thing. If the purpose of vitamin E is to prevent fatty acid oxidation, and it needs to be in the presence of a fatty acid, why would you consume it? Why would you consume extra? Because you're essentially consuming oxidized fat. Do you straighten your hair? Or do you put gel or leave it like in curls and put it in a bun? When I have to wet it and comb it to tie it back.
If you can do video on constipation, it will be much appreciated, cause it happens after I did only muscle meat, and when I added fat and organ meat, still nothing, and something white on my tongue appears, and when I did coffee, enema disappeared.
Natural breed. I literally have a video titled Carnivore Constipation. So I would watch that video, and then if you have any questions after watching that video, just leave me a comment on the video. Just search Frank Tufano Carnivore Constipation. Are you still planning on eating fruit? We got to see how the next few months go. Frank, I've had breakouts on my cheekbones. Any ideas? Yeah, breakouts can be related specifically to the food you ate or what type of reaction you're having. A fungal overgrowth will cause acne in certain places. An allergic reaction will cause acne in certain places. Like lectins will cause acne in certain places. Sugar will cause acne in different places. Literally, what you're eating and what your gut is doing will change where the acne is on your face to some degree. The main reason I'm eating carbs right now is because I can't tolerate fat. I just don't digest fat. When do the bars launch? What do you mean, the Warrior bars? You mean like officially? I'm not sure. I mean, you can buy them. We don't have. We're trying to get a couple other flavors in right now. I mean, we ran out of stock of pretty much everything on Frankie's Free Range Meat, so our sales have been very low lately. So we're going to try to get some stuff in stock next week and keep momentum going. You should market the ancestral indigenous diet more. Yeah, I have to mention my book more. I've just been waiting for I recorded my audiobook 5 months ago, and Amazon is still like not approving my audiobook. Like, I've been back and forth with Amazon for like 5 months, back and forth every week. They're saying something's wrong with it every single week. They might just block it from being put up. I don't know what they're doing. Oh, the opening credits don't match the metadata. Oh, there needs to be a second before and after this. Oh, the picture isn't formatted right. Oh, I've been back and forth with Amazon for 5 months trying to get my audiobook up, and I still haven't gotten it up. Bars are open but not gyms. I think he was talking about the Warrior bars. Can you ship those bars to Canada? Yeah, but you might have to pay more shipping. you thought about detoxing your liver or doing liver flushes? You can't really detox your liver. And if anything, a liver flush would make things worse because in most cases, when you do a liver flush, you're consuming large amounts of fat, and fat promotes absorption of nutrients. So if your liver flushes out a bunch of toxins, they're going to be reabsorbed, at least to some capacity. Maybe you should sell your book and audiobook through your own website. It's just difficult to. I don't really know about the coding and how to send stuff like that.
You are the Rodney Dangerfield of the carnivore community.
Well, technically speaking, I don't think I was ever included in the carnivore community, and I honestly wouldn't even call it a community. I mean, I would call it. I mean, we've done plenty of videos on what those people truly are. A bunch of Mason chills trying to shove feedlot beef down people's throats. Should your cholesterol be high? No. What was that water you were drinking last live stream? Probably Gerolsteiner. Oh, that's what I'm hearing. It's raining outside. I gotta close my car windows. Chat's a little slow today, so maybe we'll wrap this up in a few minutes and I'm gonna go eat. So if I missed your question, you guys could just leave it on. If I missed your question, just leave a comment on my main channel. If I eat organic Amish popcorn but eat grass-fed beef in my corner, for some reason all the Amish do tend to have a large variety of products they sell on their farm. They do a little bit of everything. Why are your car windows open? I leave them up. I have like an old piece of shit car and I never cleaned it, so I usually leave the windows open. Doing an enema. I mean, enema isn't really necessary in most cases. The gut microbiome in general is not a simple answer, a simple discussion. After you fix your iron issue, do you plan on fixing your liver and be able to eat carbs again? I don't know if the damage is reversible. I'm not really sure if the damage is reversible. If my stomach will be the same again. That's the main reason I don't want to do the bodybuilding stuff, because it's just... Are you gonna make a birthday cake for your 30th birthday?
Had my first warrior bar today. Fantastic. Forgoing the temptation to sprinkle it with glycine and collagen.
I got that script ready, Trevor. I got the script ready for that video. I'm just waiting to pull the trigger. Talk all the shit I want about
before
glycine
I
and
go
collagen.
Watch them. 1. Does pasteurized butter can be good source of fat or rather believed? 2. If water hydrated your cells, if it's not ionically bond, is it safe to drink coconut water instead? I know it has potassium, but I can add sodium.
I mean, the main concern about butter isn't that it's pasteurized or raw. It's more about, is it grass-fed? Does it have agrochemicals in it? You worry more about the initial quality of the butter. So generally speaking, yeah, raw grass-fed butter from a local farm is your best option. If water dehydrates your cells, if it's not ionically bonded, it's safe to drink coconut water. Anyone saying that water does not hydrate you has no fucking clue what they're talking about. If the water you're drinking does not have minerals in it and it has a lot of chemicals and negative things in it, then the water might be problematic. But I don't. It's very contradictory that Adonis von der Planet says not to drink water, but then advises drinking vegetable juices when they're full of agrochemicals. It doesn't make any sense. Have you ever had sex in your car? Not my car, someone else's car. So if your blood work shows your cholesterol is fine except for high saturated fat, it's no bueno in your opinion? Best country to be in if things get really bad? I don't really know if there's a good country to be in. Why do video games suck these days? Honestly, it might be intentional because if you make a game that's good and everyone just plays that game, then a lot of other... What makes more money? Making 10 shitty games and having people switch between them because they all suck? Or making one really good game and then no one else can make any money? I almost got fired at work for showing my coworker the staged black guy deaths in different countries. Did they do George Floyd shit in every country? Did they really? I thought that was like kind of fake and made up, but did they really stage it in every country and no one paralleled them together? Why do you guys keep asking me sexual questions? You guys don't pay me enough. On a different trip. Yes, look it up in France. I don't know. Honestly, a lot of this stuff just seems like you're beating I'm beating a dead horse. And with how censored my channel is, we've gone back and forth between like 99k subs and 100k subs for I think like 2 weeks now. How much do I sleep on average? My sleep's been better. I've been doing some antimicrobial stuff the past few days. It's just the iron overload. Until the iron overload problems are fixed and my liver is better, it's just the problems come back unless I do certain things. Will your body adjust and your cholesterol go down with time after going on a high cholesterol diet? Okay, so the reason your cholesterol is high is because you have some type of inflammation in your diet or lifestyle. You could have underlying metal toxicity in your liver. You could have too many omega-6s in your diet, but the cholesterol is not supposed to be high. If your cholesterol is high, then you might want to address certain things. One in Paris, one in Madrid. How is that? Did they? So, but people in America don't know they did it in other countries. Hey, Jose, take care, man. Saw on Twitter the comparison side by side. Yeah, I saw that too, but I didn't actually look up the individual news articles and confirm, where they happened or what they happened with. But, it doesn't really matter because, again, the sheeple will just believe whatever's put in the media. It's so crazy with the media. What they could literally do is they could say, oh, the virus was fake. We lied about everything. And then the next day they could say, oh, no, that was wrong. We're sorry. It's bad again. They could, because they're literally doing that. They're flip-flopping every sentence. They're saying, oh, we can open up again, but no, wait, everyone's going to get sick. The cases are an all-time high. Just watch my video today. If they can gaslight people that hard and just make shit up that much, what can we do? They don't know because CNN hasn't reported it. Exactly. Thoughts on broccoli? It apparently has a chemical which keeps you young and youthful for longer. What? Sulforaphane, which is sulfur, which is contained in like practically every food. But yeah, guys, we'll wrap this up. I'll see you guys for is Teflon bad even if you only cook on low? No, I would never cook with Teflon. So I'll see you guys for tomorrow's video, Tuesday's live stream, and we'll try to schedule, like, I'll make sure that maybe we do some variety this week with the live streams. I don't know. We'll see how the videos go, and then on Sunday we'll do a vegan critique live stream for sure. But you guys enjoy the rest of your